So record, and then
Live can be interesting. We sort of wait, people come on, see who watches it.
Yeah, love it. Real time.
We're live? Yes, we are live. We will wait a couple of minutes for people to join us. Got a great young man doing big things here tonight. We're going to find the ins and outs of business,
Financial
family
advice.
success, financial advice. You obviously speak a lot about, you do a lot of insurance too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, personal insurance is part of advice for sure. Yeah, got to protect the downside risk as much as, people are creating a foundation of wealth for themselves. If you don't have the foundation below it, then it could all come falling down.
You probably need to review mine.
Probably, mate. Probably.
I like ridiculous death cover and it cost me a fortune.
Yeah, that does happen.
So great, we've got a few people here. Anthony, Eric, how you doing? Welcome once again. Two of the greatest real estate agents in Melbourne right here. We'll just wait for a few more people to join. Then we're going to kick in with Joel Seach from Harpal Financial Group.
Yep, Harpal Financial Group.
Awesome. You know what, let's just kick into it, mate. Welcome, thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here.
Great to see you again, man.
It's been a very long time.
Last time was probably, on the basketball court maybe, many years ago.
Yeah, I reckon you actually dumped it on us because I remember that and I was probably a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah. It's,
You got younger legs than me though, we'll say that's an excuse.
Not so much nowadays, mate. Yeah. They're feeling their age, buddy. They're feeling their age.
Good. Well, guys, we're going to get in tonight. Again, this is Conversations Tonight with Joel Seach, mate. We always have a few questions just to kick out there.
Yeah.
Sort of warming up a bit.
Let's do it.
So, are you an early riser or go to bed late, sleep in a little bit?
Oh, pre-kids, very late.
Yep.
And go to bed late and sleep in late. With kids, it's like I struggle to stay up past 11 and I'm usually up by 7:30, 7 a.m.
That's good sleeping.
Not too bad, 7 a.m. Not too bad for a parent. I usually get demands from my daughter asking me for, screaming at me for breakfast, even though she can do it herself. She prefers me to do it.
Of course.
So usually that's sort of 6:30ish to 7. I try to get an extra half an hour, but
Mate, you've got it good.
yeah, not too bad. What about you? What are you getting up at?
Mate, I like to get up at 4 o'clock anyway, right?
Yeah, wow.
But my kids my older son's up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's full on.
And that hurt on the weekend. That hurts.
That's full on. It's hard because I go to gym at night time, so I hard to wind down after that.
Yeah.
So
11 o'clock's good.
Yeah.
Are you a book reader?
Audio book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is the best audio book you've probably listened to? We won't say ever. Let's say in the last 12 months.
All right. So, if we want a motivational kind of crazy Navy SEAL one, David Goggins' "You Can't Hurt Me" was one of my favourite books. Amazing audio book. And the recent one, I'll have to check my phone. I listened to one recently called Seth Godin Linchpin. That was pretty cool. And there's one more I'll have to get you. I'll have to get him to pass my phone to me, and I'll be able to tell you. It's just my phone there. I'll have to get the last one because, for the life of me, I can't remember the actual name of it, but it was actually a really, really enjoyable book. So
I've done David Goggins.
So Good to Great.
Yep.
David Goggins' "You Can't Hurt Me." Start With Why by Simon Sinek was really cool. Linchpin by Seth Godin.
Yep.
So there's some of the ones. And I've just started The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma.
Yeah, good book.
Yeah. So I'm interested to check
That's
that
a good
out. I'm only shortly in, but hard to find time to read books, so audio books on 1.8 times speed.
Oh, smart. The audiobooks are brilliant, especially what takes you 15 minutes?
20 minutes in the car.
Mate, within a week, you've done a book.
Yeah, exactly. Pop
especially
it
on 1.8.
Yeah, exactly.
But David Goggins, for anyone watching this, make sure you get that book. That was one of the only books, I had to put it down for a minute.
Yeah.
Because it was so intense through his childhood.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Only if you're okay with swearing.
Yeah, he likes to cuss.
And the audiobook's cool because someone narrates it, but then he's in there for the interview section. So he comes in every chapter and explains and expands on it. Yeah. Amazing storyteller, and it puts a bit of perspective on when you're going through a tough period, what it's like.
What tough is really like.
What tough's really like.
Yeah. All right. Are you a watch kind of guy or a car guy?
I'd probably say probably not car. Like cars are okay, but as long as I'm comfortable, I can fit in because I'm 6'7". So the main thing is if I can get a 4-wheel drive, I can fit in. I can't do like small cars or sports cars because like doing the limbo trying to get in. So as long as it's a 4-wheel drive, I like 4-wheel drives, and watches I've probably got. I used to collect more, but I've probably got like 7, 8 watches, but I only wear like 3 or 4, and the rest of them, the battery goes out.
Okay, you know a good book you need to read actually on that is who's the guy who coached Jordan physically?
Oh yeah, I forget the name now, but yeah, I know the guy. I'm picturing him. He's a short guy, Italian background. He was on that Last Dance, wasn't he? He was on that. Yeah.
His book is phenomenal.
Yep.
Phenomenal, good mindset book. He talks about you don't have a watch, you have a timepiece.
Okay.
You don't have a car, you have an automobile. It's a good book. I reckon you'll like it.
Okay.
Dives big into mindset and the mindset of Jordan and people like that and Kobe Bryant, and it's phenomenal.
What about you?
Both.
Both?
I would probably prefer a nice watch over a car.
Yep.
Naked wrists right now, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got a couple of nice ones there.
Yeah, good.
But the car will come one day.
Yeah, cool.
A few other things to do first, I think.
Yeah, love it.
Got to make that money first.
Love it.
All right. This is a good one. I like this question anyway. If you could have coffee with anybody, dead or alive, who and why?
That's a great question. Goggins is probably one that I love him. I love his stuff. I love what he's all about. I'd love to have a coffee with Goggins. Yeah, man, probably. Goggins, MJ would be cool.
Yep.
Nothing too outlandish or crazy. So, yeah, they'd probably be my couple. I'm trying to think. Nah, I can't think. Like, if another one comes to me, but yeah, front of mind. Yeah, I'd love to catch up with Goggins.
Yeah,
be great. There's a really cool YouTube thing of him. Like, I'd love to spend a week with him and just have him work me out. I'd love that.
Yeah, just 2,000 chin-ups in no time.
Yeah, doing star jumps, and he's done that with someone, the founder of Spanx, he did that with. So I'd love to just have him live with me for the week. Yeah. Just work me out.
It'd be crazy, right?
It'd be nuts.
Tim Penhalick, welcome. We've got all the agents joining us here.
Yeah, love it.
Again, guys, we've got Joel in the building, talking all things family, sport, and of course business, which he has an amazing financial planning group called HAPAL.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right.
Harpel Financial Group, 2 kids' names, Harper and Elijah, combined together, formed Harpel. When I was thinking of a name, think of something that's meaningful to me. Yep. And that's where Harpel came from.
So we were talking earlier, just before this, about having kids, right? And it's a clear reason now you can't have any more unless you started your company. Because you can't have the one child left off.
Got to tack it on to the end, or start a new company. So I think we're done. I think we're good with 2.
Good with 2, awesome.
Good with 2.
So let's get into it. Tell me about your background. Like, I knew you personally, never played basketball with you, but I knew you from the basketball community. Yep. And obviously saw you got into financial planning, amazing success at that. Yep. And now you've launched into your own company. So those watching and those who are going to watch, fill them in. Who is Joel?
Yeah, so background, I guess, sporting background, just grew up in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, Ringwood. Got heavy into basketball from a high standard level, I guess, from my teens and played through to early 20s, which we did actually play a Goldstorm game together on Wednesday night, Thursday nights.
I do actually remember the dunk too.
There you go. So Marty does remember. Obviously, it mustn't have been that memorable playing with me, but and then got into advice. I was always interested in commerce and business. So when I was at uni, I love sport, but I also loved commerce, business, stocks, investing, property. I just loved understanding how it worked, and it was sort of, I guess, an upbringing that Dad taught me about shares from an early day. I was always inquisitive about it, so that's what led me into the commerce area, and then onto financial advice as well. So basketball, I had to actually finish up basketball. I had a back injury at 23, so I had a bit of a stint with Hawks and the Big VU NBL1, and I was in the Tigers team squad and had a couple of tours to China. But I wrecked my back when I was like 20, and then again when I was 23, and then that was sort of done. I had commerce or business behind the scenes, but it was a challenging time to get through that and come out the other side. And I think it creates a lot of resolve in you when you go through something challenging like that, and you come out the other side. And then I was one of the big instos and as an advisor, a senior advisor, from age sort of 22, 23 through to 33, and then finished off finished off a couple of years ago and started Hubble Financial Group once I sort of, I think outgrew where I was. I enjoyed the time there, but when you sort of feel like it's not challenging anymore and you feel like there's something on the other side to be able to do better, I thought that's when time's right to create Hubble Financial Group and get it up and running and do a better job of it.
So how was that? I mean, you've got 2 children, you've got a wife, 2 young kids too. How was the transition to go from, hey, I'm in a large corporation, let's set up your own thing?
Yeah.
How was that, both obviously the emotional aspect of it for the family?
Yeah.
You clearly had a lot of support from home, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
How was it making that transition?
Yeah, it was emotional. You always have a seed of doubt, I think, in anything you do, and you always worry, and there's that thing in the back of your mind is like, can you do it? But I think once you're in there and once you're rolling, all that stuff that you learn from coming up and the resolve and the drive forward to sort of continue on kicks into gear, and you're like, it's only just forward after that. When I started up and with the accounting firm I was working with, he had to retire due to health issues, and then so I sort of had to move there, and then the pandemic happened, and then it's like, okay, well now I'm working from home and setting the business up, and the seed of doubt comes in again. But it's just like you wake up and you drive forward every day, and if you're progressing, you're doing the right things, and you're implementing the right ideas into business, then that stuff starts to fall away, and that seed of doubt, pretty quickly goes. It tries to pop its head up every now and then, but just
so you launched and then, or you pretty much launched and then got shut down.
Yeah, I sort of launched middle of 2020, and then it was set up and running, and then bang, March a pandemic occurs, and had to work from home. A couple of young kids, which was lucky enough I've got a good home office set up, but it was a challenging period, but it was also an interesting one because you start introducing a lot of technologies like Zoom and you use it with your clients, and you're catching up with clients that are interstate, and it sort of broadens your opportunity of clients you can deal with as well. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and definitely a challenging period from working at home with a couple of young kids, but also a time that I think if you reflect back on, you're never going to have that time in your life again where you teach your daughter how to ride a bike and you're around for your kids every day. So you look back at it as a period of time that, it was a challenge, but it was also an interesting and an enjoyable period in some aspects too.
Yeah, correct. I think I always have this saying, right, if you plan for the worst, you only ever experience the best.
Yep.
So some people in winter, it might be snowing and they're stuck indoors. Other people get to go to the ski slopes.
Yep.
And I think for so many people, what we saw last year, if you've planned for it, I say financial terms is having cash, right? And things get shut down, you don't have to stress about how am I going to pay my mortgage, how am I going to put food, and you can actually really thoroughly enjoy the time with your kids. You're right, you may never get that time back again.
Yeah.
With your wife.
Yeah.
And build it differently. And I think it's so healthy where sometimes I think you go back in the day when everyone used to work on the land. The kids used to see dad and mum would say, work out on the land. That's gone these days.
Yeah.
Last year gave everyone the opportunity to see, hey, your kids get to see what daddy does.
Yeah.
Come in and annoy you at the office.
Yeah, man. And everyone's expectation was you shouldn't be doing anything different because everyone knew that you're at home. Everyone knew that you're going to have kids interrupting and you're going to be around the family and you're going to be at home, and they don't expect you to be anywhere else. You're not getting pulled to go to anything. So it was a...
So let me ask you this question. So from that, have you changed or made significant changes in how you actually operate now your day-to-day business?
Yeah, I found that I couldn't do 5 days a week from home, but I haven't minded doing sort of a day and a half of just being at home, walking the kids to school, and then come back and making an admin day of it and logging on and doing any Zoom hookups that I need to do with clients. That's the cool thing about it now. Clients don't need to come into the office to see you necessarily. A lot still like to, and that's fine, and we cater for that obviously, and I love catching up with clients because you get that engagement there. But if clients just need something done quickly, we can hook up on Zoom or MS Teams, and I can do that from the comfort of my own home office, which is I've got everything the same as my home office. I've got replicated now in the main office, so it works perfectly in that regard. And so that's probably the big difference is the introduction of technology, and also making sure that I'm around for all those things like walking the kids to school and being there, because you don't get that time back.
100%.
Time, you got to put value on time, Marty.
100%. Which is so much. I mean, we had a really quick chat before we jumped on here tonight, and you run a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Right? What's your podcast called? So everyone can know.
Yeah, so check out Money in the Tank podcast. So it's on all the normal streaming services. I run it with another friend of mine. It's a tax professional, and it's easy to listen to, real cruisy listening, and we sort of target and niche the 20s, 30s, 40s and 50s that are in that wealth creation phase or going through similar phases in life that we're going through. And we cover all things, basic money, personal finance, and we try to talk about the journey of, things to look at or things to be mindful of and our experience too, and try to be really interesting to the listener so that, people can switch it on, listen for half an hour and pick a bit up, but also enjoy it too. So
you did, right? You mentioned it's all about time, right? And creating time.
Yeah.
In the world we live in, if you don't, someone is not seeing someone like yourself and understanding their investments, they're always trading the time for money. I'm assuming you help people get that, let's stop trading time for money and have your money buy back your time.
Yeah, because you're dealing with people that, are busy in what they're doing and they're, experts in their field. So then they're sort of like, well, I don't want to take on, the responsibility of managing my finances. So I'd like to outsource that to a professional to take that stress off me so I can just do what I do and do what I'm good at.
Yeah.
It's a bit like outsourcing, I guess, to a personal trainer. Someone doesn't want to go into a gym to think about what they've got to do. They just want to get someone to set up and organise them and get them fit and get them healthy. It's the same thing with managing their personal finance and money. They're busy doing what they're doing, earning a good income or, succeeding in their field. But they don't have the time, and sometimes it's a lot of complexities that are coming involved, and especially when you're dealing with couples, for example, that might be thinking differently about money. When we're catching up with them, we're interviewing them separately and finding out the deepest, darkest worries about money and how it works and how it operates. So it's a lot of sort of emotional things that come out in meetings too.
Yeah. So let's go back to your business real quick, right? Before you started it, right? So you've had, was it about 10 years in the...
Yeah, but 12, 13 years in the industry now.
Yep. So you obviously had the seed probably a long time before you actually started the business. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. In my 20s, started thinking about it.
What was the biggest roadblock you had to get over?
Being comfortable in the gig I was in. So as you said before, the security of being with a big insto, they looked after me, paid me well. Sort of didn't have to worry too much about doing all the extra things that's involved with running a business. But that was probably the main thing, the barrier to make that shift and make that move. And then they started making some changes with things I didn't like the direction they were heading. So that's when I thought you have only got one crack at it on life, and it's all about the journey you take along the way. Right. So so I thought better time than ever to do it from 33, make the move now rather than wait till I'm 43 or 53. Yeah. So I can look back in 10 years' time and say, glad I did that. Be proud of it.
Yeah. Now, has your wife got anything to do with the business, or everything's separate?
So sometimes Erin gets involved with a bit of the admin and back office stuff. Got an admin offsite, a paraplanner that helps us out. Yep. So we've got an associate advisor I've got to bring on the new year. So it's growing really well. It's been busy. So
fantastic.
Can't complain, man. Can't complain.
So what's the vision then? So where are we going to see you 5-10 years time?
It's a great question. So ideally, I think for Harple is to be in an area where we're going to be able to niche and offer quality service to a client base that needs the guidance and the help. So we're not going to be all things to all people. We're going to be working with quality, working with giving quality outcomes to people rather than quantity.
Yes.
So financial advice of old was probably a bit more kind of churn and turn over clients and bring on more and more clients, but you start to lose that integrity of the offering you're doing. Yep. So we prefer to work with specific key clients and niche and work really well and offer quality outcomes transparently and holistically and be bigger picture. So to be their principal advisor, their go-to to be able to help bring in arms of experts such as mortgage brokers, accountants, solicitors, and be their advisor, to be their advocate in life, to be able to help them through.
That's good.
And so it's really new model advising is you're that person's advocate for all things financial. Yep. So to be able to help project manage them through life and be able to help be their advocate if they're selling a house, chatting to the agent and working out what's a good outcome, or putting them in touch with professionals to be able to help them through things. Because I think sometimes you're lacking that in life, that person that can be there as your confidant if you may not have that.
It's really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
So obviously the industry's changed a lot in the last 10 years too.
It has.
Royal Commission, I'm assuming that changed, especially being with one of the big four.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of things happen. Now, I'm huge on insurance, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone knows I run a mortgage company. So to me, insurance should be mandatory if you're taking out a loan, right? Someone's getting into debt $500,000-$600,000, young family, I can't afford X on insurance, yeah? How do you try to explain the importance of someone? It's almost like creating an instant estate for someone. Is that fair to say?
When you're not taking out cover? Or
no, when you do take out cover. If something happens, it's like, hey, here's this. So what do you do to explain to people if they're coming to you for the first time, might be a young couple, and you have the insurance conversation?
Well, you put yourself in the other person's shoes to say, well, with my spouse or partner, we've got a young family, or I'm, getting up and running with my, my work or my profession that I'm going to be in hopefully for 20, 30, 40 years, taking out a debt. You're putting yourself in the other person's shoes and saying, well, if anything happens to me, what's going to happen to them, or what's going to happen to the family in that regard from a financial aspect, and am I going to leave them out in the cold, in terms of not having that protection? So it's almost it's a selfless thing, because you're not going to get the cover, life cover anyway. You're not going to get that cover. That's going to go to your wife and kids to be able to clear any debts down, take time off to help with the kids, pay for any education needs, potentially have some money to be invested to be able to cover your loss of income. Protection is huge. Income protection's a big one as well for young people, just to, because your income's your livelihood essentially. A lot of people protect their cars, but their income's their biggest asset. So if that goes unchecked or unlooked after, then there can be a bit of a gaping hole.
It's so true. We get so many people have the conversation with them, and unfortunately, it's often the men say, "Oh, mate, doesn't matter. My family will take care of us." That's a big burden to put on to say their parents, to expect them then to financially support if something was to happen. The kids. It's massive. So that's a conversation that I have to have with the family to say, if something happens to me, you guys, okay to financially take the hit and pay the bills, pay the mortgage, provide my wife with income for life. That's a big responsibility for anyone to take on. So that's one thing of advice in a bigger part, bigger picture. So when you talk about personal cover, it's sort of a part, but you look at the whole picture with advising, and part is protecting yourself from that foundation standpoint, and it's all the other things that come into advice to make sure that you're in the best position moving forward. And everything you mentioned before when you're coming on, that everything in life changes. Your estate plan changes, your job, your work income changes, your debt levels change. So a plan that may have been set up 5 years ago has so many moving parts. Like, clients can walk out the door and overspend on their budget or their cash flow, and I'll say the plan's now sort of expired to an extent. We've got to catch back up, we've got to adjust things because life changes. So it's important to check that out and get it reviewed. 100%. Guys, for those of you joining right now, we know we've got a few new here. Claire, welcome. Enzo, mate, thank you so much for last week. That was incredible. We have Joel here. Joel is from Harpel Financial Group. As we do every single Wednesday night, I'm in great conversation with him. But we always want to pass it over to you guys as well. If you do have any questions, keep it clean. I know he looks like such a young man, but he's got a lot of wisdom behind him, a lot of experience in the financial planning industry. So if anyone has any direct questions that they'd, I'm sure you're welcome to answer questions.
Happy to answer questions. Don't make them too hard on a Wednesday night.
Correct. Tim Longmore, welcome too. But guys, we're going to kick this on. So I've got a list of questions here that I want to keep firing away at you, right? Business. Most people who watch this are in real estate, are in business, and they're trying to do something with their life. Let's put it that way, right?
Yep.
We all run into massive obstacles.
Yep.
I've been in business trying to build my company, the loan rooms, ups and downs, sideways, the whole thing, right? What do you think, and what do you actually foresee, right? Because it's good to anticipate moves as being your number one challenge. You obviously you mentioned the book before that you love, which is
You Can't Hurt Me.
You Can't Hurt Me.
Goggins, yeah.
David Goggins, amazing book. He's someone who's overcome so many challenges.
Yeah.
He now almost looks for them.
Yeah.
So how do you look in your life where you've got 2 young kids, a wife, a business you're getting up and going? What has been your biggest challenge to date? And what do you actually foresee? So where do you need to anticipate challenges in the future?
Yeah, it's a big question. Obviously, the pandemic that's come into the mix, which is throws a spanner in everyone's works, because so many, it turns people's lives upside down depending on where they are or what industry they're in. But yeah, I think the key thing you mentioned before is if you're planning for things, the journey not to be a breeze. You're sort of, you're going to have that wobble, you're going to have that period of time where you're going up a steep slope and it's going to be challenging. So, but if you have that, in the back of your mind or that thought pattern to say each day I get up, it's not going to be a breeze, I'm going to have to push through some stuff here. And it turns out that day might be easier than you first expected. So you're always putting yourself in a mindset to say, we're going to have to work hard for this. And generally, if you've got that mindset, you can always play a trick on your mind of, the days become easier as you keep rolling along. But you always got to get that perspective back in your mind to say, okay, well, it's not always a cake. We're going to have difficult clients, we're going to have difficult situations, but it's about how you push through those and how you navigate through those.
Yeah. So how does, you're a fit looking man. You can't see right now. Most people know me. I'm 6'4". I'm really short next to Joel. Right? That's why we're sitting down here tonight. So how important is health on this journey and the fitness to keep the right mindset? What's your routine when it comes to that?
Yeah, so I'm 6'7" in the old, 200 centimetres, and about, I don't know what I'm now, 116, a few COVID kilos. But yeah, pre-kids, I used to go to gym, and play basketball, train, 2 times, 3 times a week for basketball, and train 6 nights a week. But obviously having kids, that sort of strips back a little bit. So now you just try to get in when you can. So for me, I'm a nighttime person, so I like to work during the day, and I like to sort of ease up at night and be able to get into the gym and de-stress a little bit. So yeah, keeping healthy and fit's always been something I've done since I was like 15, 14. I've gone to the gym and just it becomes more of a lifestyle thing. And then since I've had kids, obviously a timing thing, you've got to be shorter and sharper, but you also see them look at you as well, and you're sort of like, they see if you're keeping fit and healthy, that becomes normal to them.
Spot on.
So talk about COVID and lockdown, I set up my garage gym, and I've never worked out in the garage because I've always liked to get out to go to the gym, go somewhere and then come back. But I set up decked out the garage, and then the kids sort of shortly turned that into a Ninja Warrior course. So I had videos of them going on the lacquer bands and everything like that, the exercise bands. But they saw me get out there every night, and they'd be pumped to come out with me and do the Olympic rings and do all the stuff that Dad's doing, and video me and video themselves. And we had a ball, but they sort of see that as being fit, health in that sort of lifestyle. So it's normal. But if you have a lifestyle of being a couch potato watching TV and eating takeout, that'll be normal to them as well.
Correct.
So it's sort of the environment that I've been used to for so many years, but I'm bringing them up in just coincidentally because that's my lifestyle.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
And do you find that plays a big aspect into how you run and operate your business on a day to day? Well, knowing you've got that energy there,
you always have the energy because it sort of releases all those endorphins. So if I have a bad week at the gym, generally I have a struggling week in the office, and generally I won't have that motivation with clients, and it just snowballs.
Yep.
So, but it works in the reverse. If you're having a good week of, having a run at basketball, walking the dogs, going to the gym, working out, in the garage with the kids and mucking around, that sort of snowballs into better eating. You have your shakes, you got more energy for your appointments with your clients, you got more energy during the day and at night time. So, it's all good things that come out of it.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you this question. Don't know if you can even answer this next question, right? Real estate market's booming.
Yeah.
Stocks are priced at, when you just look at Tesla, look at the PE, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you advise a client, say a new investor coming to you, young couple, just got married, hey, let's make sure we've got our finances in order, we want to see the man. How do you navigate what's out there right now? Because we're seeing things that are uncharted.
Yeah. Well, it's, firstly, when we talk about investing and speculating is a short-term play. So you're talking year to 2 years of in and out, even shorter than that. Investing is more for a longer-term play. So whether you're buying any kind of asset, you're buying property, you're buying shares, you're buying, commercial or whatever it may be, a business, you're aiming to be an investor in that thing for the medium to longer term, generally speaking. So, as an advisor, we try not to make short-term rash decisions with clients. We actually stop them from making short-term rash decisions, through the pandemic, of many client conversations with people worrying and pulling money out. And some clients that I wasn't advising or didn't have an advisor pulled money out and made huge an impact on their portfolio, which we now have to reverse that issue. And then some clients were able to talk them, so to speak, off the ledge of making a panic decision and saving them, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run, because it's not always about the decisions you make, it's the decisions you don't make sometimes to whether it be buying a certain investment. So, as a holistic advisor, you're sort of taking that bigger picture approach with them over the medium to longer term and helping be a partnership to direct them in the right way.
How many clients would you get, say, Joel, Bitcoin? What do you think?
Yeah, it's coming more and more. Probably a couple of years ago, I would have sort of brushed it off a bit, had a laugh, but I think it's coming more and more into the dialogue of people nowadays. And when you start to take it seriously, you start seeing fund managers talk about it and saying, well, is it going to be a viable asset to have in a portfolio for diversification? So, in advisor land or investment land, your diversification is about having assets in different areas to try to help smooth out the return over time, and having uncorrelated assets can help. So is Bitcoin going to be something that's going to be an uncorrelated asset to shares or another asset class in the future? It may well be. Time will tell, but I don't think the book's written on that one yet. It's going to be time to still play out on it. So
does your license actually enable you to even have a conversation about it?
Well, we don't have, there's no, I don't believe there's any Australian ETFs yet with it. I think there's a lot of companies trying to rush to get it done. And my guess is in the not too distant future, we'll start to see it come through some managed account overall portfolios with an allocation to that area, just like they allocate to gold or infrastructure or, an alternative asset. So I think there'll be enough people in demand to want to do it, and enough fund managers will take note of it, then there'll be probably a rush to get those ETFs in there, and I think it'll come to fruition.
It's certainly an interesting place. Ryan Clark, welcome. Do you know Ryan?
Ryan Clark, basketball.
Basketball.
Back in the day, yeah. Remember the name. Name's familiar for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you've dunked on him a couple of times. Is that right, Clarky? Mate, it's really interesting, right? This the crypto conversation.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. I'm not an investor in it. A lot of people, I think, use it as a hedge against the dollar right now, potentially. I like the old gold and silver hedge against the dollar. Stash that in someone else's backyard, not in mine, guys. Don't come visit.
Don't go Donvale.
No, Park Orchard, wasn't it? So, what is the normal lifespan, though, that you see? Because I'm really interested in this, right? Because we've got a really diverse range of clients that I see here.
Yeah.
Most of them do not have a financial planner.
Yeah.
Most of them are the financial planner of mum and dad. And mum told me I should do this, or dad told me I should do that. And we're talking about an era that they grew up in where you put your money in ING and you get 12% return. Right? Those days are gone. So pretend I'm talking to a client. Now we've got Emma over here. Everyone should know Emma by now. She's our amazing marketing lady and helps me to the nth degree. I'm sitting down with Emma, which we are sitting down with Emma. She's going to need to see you soon as well. We're having a conversation about not just the house, because us helping someone buy the house and buy the investment is almost just that's the first step. It's not done once they've bought. Now the journey, I look at that, now the journey begins, especially if someone's buying an investment property, right? So a lot of people have the conversation around shares and property. To me, you should have both. Right? But they don't understand that they still need a financial planner, a financial plan, even if there's so much drained in bricks and mortar, to help structure other parts of their portfolio or their insurances or their due wills.
Yeah, we outsource all that, property advice, property advisors, brokers, wills, estate planning. Our role as a principal advisor is to not sort of say you've got to have X amount of money to come see us so we can invest X amount. It's more of a holistic principal advisor approach. It's like, Joel, we got these complexities, we've got these aspirations, we want to try to achieve this. We need to have you hold us accountable to do it as their independent sort of advocate advisor. So and hold them accountable. So it's more about, okay, well, how do we put all these pieces together and help project manage them through this situation? They might need to engage us for 12 months, 24, 36 months. They might engage us for a longer period. They might engage us only for a shorter period. but it's all about, do they have enough goals, aspirations and complexities to help get them from where they are now to where they want to be, and be that person as an independent advisor to help guide them. And we don't get paid through product or any kickbacks or any referral relationships. We work holistically in that regard. So we're always working for the client, and we take out as many conflicts of interest as we can. So so that's sort of more about, I guess, with clients that some clients will some people will go it alone, and that's okay, but some people will feel like they can get added benefit and I guess promise and an outcome from engaging with an advisor to help them holistically.
So your first step, you're sitting down. So you're sitting down with me. You do a massive deep dive in. Hey, what are your goals? Where you want to be? You obviously look and back. Is that really realistic based on what your incomes are, etc., etc. And then tailor a plan for that person based on obviously their risk portfolio, or risk appetite.
Yeah, so we drill in first. It'd be yourself and your spouse. We'd get you in and we'd interview each of you separately for a portion of the time each, and the other person's not allowed to speak. And then you'll find out aspirations and goals and complexities that someone's experiencing that their spouse may not be aware of, and then you can drill into SME stuff as well. And you'll find all these sort of things will span out, and these deepest, darkest worries about certain things or monies or things on the horizon or things they want to achieve. And when you're going through that situation with someone, you're really getting to understand what makes them tick and what they're after and what they're trying to achieve. And then you're helping them, along the way as being their advocate to be able to help guide them through that period, and their trusted advisor to help them all things financial and be their sort of person that can come and bring all the different areas that they need together to help them achieve what they're trying to get to.
So you see many people, right? What's the worst advice someone's come and told you that they've received before?
Oh, dude, it's too many, too many. It's funny, someone could come and see me and they've got, millions of dollars. Someone could come and see me and they're in the negative, with bad debt and whatnot, personal loans and credit cards, and they've got the worst cash flow and spending you've ever seen. And it could be the best money they ever spend to get them out of that.
Yes. If
that makes sense. So maybe not bad investment decisions from that regard, but just bad cash flow management. Yeah. Not everyone's good money managers. No. You sort of, sometimes these books are sort of assuming everyone's great at managing their money. It's like assuming everyone's great at working out, going to the gym, keeping fit, or everyone's great at doing taxes. Not everyone's expertise in certain areas. If I was going to sell my house, I know I'm not a good salesman from a real estate perspective. I'd engage one of these guys on here. Jacob, you said you'd be on here if you're on here. If you're not on here, you're not getting engaged by me as my next real estate agent, mate. But some of the bad ones you see, probably the worst ones you see is sort of that young couple that, maybe a property spruiker, they bought the wrong spruiked property, and again, it's sometimes the decisions you don't make by having someone engaged to help them sift through the crap that you can sometimes see there, because it can set people back for such a long way with a bad investment decision early, because that compounds over time. If you're making smart, sound decisions early, that compounds over time and works for you. If you set yourself up off the wrong foot, it can leave you back. It can set you back a long way, which means you've just got further to make up. Bad property, property spruiking stuff. You see a lot of that, and just bad decision making in that regard. Probably the worst stuff you see, or just bad advice that hasn't been in the client's best interest. You see that quite a bit too.
Yeah. Cool. Paul Mancini, welcome. Mate, one of the biggest moving shakers I know right there. Make sure you go follow Mancini Made for those of you watching this. Paul, we've got to get you on here one day. Built the amazing developers.
Great.
Incredible stuff.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So tell me something else. Off work, right?
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday night.
Yep.
You spent. Kids are down.
Yep.
What do you do to kick back, relax, unwind?
Man, here's a question on the podcast we do. What do you choose? What's your choice? So 50-50, it's one of the segments we do at the end, because diversification or investments, you've got all these different choices, want to buy property here or buy property there, or shares here or there. So one of the questions you just rung a bell then was Friday night. So what's your preference, Marty? Having a Friday night wedding or a Saturday night wedding?
Friday.
Why?
Actually, I'll take that back.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm smashed on a Friday night.
Yeah, tired.
Tired.
Done.
I'd rather probably, oh man.
dig in though. What if you got Emma here to run the show for, and you can take that half day at work on Friday or a day off on Friday?
I do Friday then.
Yeah, launch in. I was Friday as well.
Boom.
Monday, yeah. So you take the half day off or the full day off.
I'll do the whole day off, maybe a bit in the morning.
Get the crew to run the show. Get yourself a fresh haircut. You're ready to rock
Done.
and
I
roll.
don't have. You got a good set of hair still.
Yeah, I got a fresh cut today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 100% Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night, and you got the weekend to recover.
Correct.
Yeah, that was my choice. Yeah.
So when did I get married? I got married on a Sunday afternoon, I think.
Ooh,
I think.
that's rough. For
Sorry,
people
baby,
to
for
work on
listening,
Monday.
but I think.
People are going to work on a Monday.
I know.
Can't launch. That was the plan.
No.
Didn't want to have to put too much over the bar.
Aussies.
So what was the question again? So yeah,
Friday night, what do you do? Kick
man,
back.
Friday I'm buggered like you. I'm buggered Fridays, but yeah, just chill out, watch a bit of sport, watch some docos, watch some TV.
Yeah.
Like movies, that sort of stuff, man. So yeah, that's usually my Friday night.
Are you a dinner in or a dinner out? You're gonna have friends over, or you're gonna have the friends? What do you do?
Yeah, we sort of have probably a few friends over. We just do takeout. We're pretty easy going. Like we'll just I'm happy with either going out to a really nice restaurant, but I'm also just as happy going and get some cheap eats. Some of the fun times. Like we stayed in the city the other night. Went to a place called Mak or something. It was a Malaysian joint. It was like Cheap Eats Melbourne, and it was just in and out food. And we sung Happy Birthday. The whole restaurant was into it. Everyone was drinking. That was a great night, and that was super cheap. But then you could go to a really nice restaurant, and I'm sure you'd enjoy that too. But I'm not too fussed. I'm pretty easy.
Are you a whiskey, or say like I'm a tequila man, right? Or like a tequila.
I'm vodka.
Are you a vodka?
Vodka, yeah.
I wouldn't have picked you for vodka.
Vodka, lime and soda. Have a few beers early, and then switch over, because that way I wake up no hangover.
Yeah.
And I feel okay the next day and like a human being, especially with 2 young kids.
Yes.
Just can't wake up feeling sick.
So I used to be vodka myself. Vodka went to gin.
Okay, yep.
But these days, fine tequila.
Yeah, nice, good.
Most people you find though, they've had an experience with
Bad
tequila.
tequila, yeah.
And so they always say, you can't do tequila, Martin.
Yeah.
But tequila's the way to go.
Good tequila, like quality tequila, yeah.
1942.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Don Julio.
Yeah, love it.
Incredible.
Okay, we'll have to share
we actually need to start a new segment called Tuesday Night Tequila Tasting.
Yeah, what's your choice? Should have had some here, mate, that'd make it a bit more fun.
I would have been. So hey, tell me, with basketball, right, do you get in to watch Melbourne?
I tried to get tickets the other day when we were staying in the city, but I think it was only like 50%. This is when the Melbourne Cup thing was going on, but they didn't have tickets, so I did try, but
Capacity's low in there right now.
Yeah. I have to try to get in there. My friend's the CEO of the new Southeast Phoenix, Tommy. So Tommy, if you're out there in Instaland,
Hook up some tickets over here.
Yeah, get some tickets, mate. I'll come out and support the crew. I'll buy a single or something.
So you say you Southeast supporter, or would you say United?
I wouldn't say. If I watched the Melbourne thing, and I found myself just going for Southeast.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason, but I was going for them. So I guess I'm Southeast. Yeah, and Tommy. I know Tommy there. I know a few of the guys at Southeast. I think Rowan, one of my old coaches, is there too.
Yeah.
So
Luke Kendall's coaching there now.
Simon Mitchell, who I played against, he was coaching Diamond Valley. He's the head coach there. Yeah. So maybe if I was 15 years younger, Simon might look at me to recruit me in there, but I might be past it now, Simon.
Mate, you know what? Always string these boots. These young fellas who play these days, they don't have that.
Yeah, they don't have the old man veteran game.
Correct. You know what we'll do? I'll bring you along to a game.
Yeah.
Season tickets.
Yeah, let's do it.
Season tickets at your courtside.
Yeah, love it.
Sit with all the
crew.
all the rock stars down there.
Yeah, great. Love that.
We'll tee that up.
Go to a game.
Yeah.
And they might call us on for like half-time shootout.
Mate, I always strap the boots in the bag just in case.
In case they need. Yeah, just ready to go, coach.
I'll look at the bench and
ready to go. Yeah, ready to go.
The last couple of seconds they'll be done.
Yeah, love it. No, that'd be great.
It's good fun. It's good fun. It's so important to find something that. So I didn't play basketball. I think we were talking before, probably 14 years, right?
Yeah.
I never liked to watch sports.
Yep.
To me, watching sports, I was want to be out there.
Yep.
But then you have kids like, hey, I can't move like I used to move anyway. So let's get into watching it, and now it's as an outlet. When you work so hard, your wifey at home, your kids there, it's go. It's so good to have that outlet, just to go into town. For me, go to the basketball. For other people, it's something else. And just, if I could, just let your head down.
Anything, I think, for experiences, man. I'm a big person, big believer and advocate of experiences in life. You know, superficial things like toys and all that stuff. I love going out and doing stuff with the kids or going out with friends to do something fun and experience something that's memorable. You know, you're creating memories rather than getting something superficial that sort of just gets, you know, you're lost anyway.
Spot on. Oh, I talk about making magic moments.
Yeah, love
so
that.
So how do you create a magic moment for someone where they may not be able to do it for themselves, but you give them an experience or something like that where it's triggered and, you know, they'll remember it for life.
Remember that, absolutely.
Especially with our kids these days, it's still easy to, you know, stick them in front of an iPad.
Yeah.
No knocking anyone who does that, right? But just a little caveat. Or you take them outside and you play with them.
Yeah, because you're always going to have your iPad time and whatnot, because that's all part of it. But having that balance right and taking them out to play and playing at the park or shooting hoops or whatever. Going, you know, we went to Luna Park and we stayed. I've been to Luna Park for like 20 odd years.
How good is it?
Like my knees didn't love it. Like I was on that scenic railway roller coaster, and she goes, "Oh, you might just have to like put your legs here and do that." So I was like doing that with my knees, and we came down this section. My front of my knees just got smashed into the bar, so my knees didn't love it. But we had a hoot, man. I'd been there since I was like 7. Since the dude hitting the ghost train and used to grab you. They said OH&S stopped that like 10 years ago, so there's no one there to grab me on the shoulders and scare the actual crap out of me. But yeah, man, the kids had a ball. Like, apart from that ride, I took my daughter on that went upside down. I didn't realise there was a lot of tears there. But
did the full loop?
It held you up there. Like I sort of thought it was just like a quick one up in the sides or whatever, but it actually held you up there. And I just looked across at her, trying to sort of show a brave face, and she was just not loving it.
Yeah, how old's your daughter?
She's 6.5. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, but
that's all right.
Apart from that, we were cool. We had a great time. So yeah, things like that, man. I love doing anything experience related. Yeah.
So then you were a family holiday time, right? You going to the country, or you going to the beach?
Beach. Yeah, beach, man, for sure. And you know, I think talking about experiences, one of the things I think in advising when you talk about investing and returns and this and that, it's like. That's the reason we created the podcast and named it Money in the Tank, because that's not the destination you necessarily get to. It's not about getting that, you know, money, you know, that $1 million or whatever it is, 5 million, whatever it may be, you know, $100,000, because that actually doesn't fulfill you. It's about the journey to get you there and fill that tank up and get that money to be able to then achieve and do what you want to do in life. That's the actual destination, is what that money can propel you to be able to do. And whether it be go to have an experience or have a holiday or go up beach, you know, that's what life is to me.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I want you to run that again. So, the podcast, guys, called Money in the Tank. Now, just clarify again for everyone watching, what exactly do you mean by money in the tank?
Yeah, so money in the tank is sort of, you know, you're filling the tank up with petrol or money in this sense. And essentially the car or the tank is to get you to the destination. It's not accumulating wealth for the sake of accumulating wealth or money to get you to a dollar figure or get you an asset base, so to speak, because that's not going to be very fulfilling. When you get there, it's like, okay, great, I got $1 million, but
what's next?
What's next? What do I do? Like, you know, I can't just go around and say I got $1 million. That's you know, it's weird. Anyway, but it's about, okay, well, I want to create that wealth. I want to get, you know, that income and save and invest and do the right things and get a sensible setup of cash flow and get everything organised. But I'm doing it to try to propel myself and get myself to this area, you know, to get to a destination, because money's not the destination, it's the actual journey and getting to what you want to get to, the place you want to get to, whether it be a holiday, a house, you know, setting up a business, doing something philanthropic. It could be anything. It takes any shapes or forms. It's all about what the aspiration of that person is, though.
Yeah, spot on. It's so well said. And I think it's easy to fall into the trap too when people start the journey. They think you've got to have X.
Yeah.
X for different people is completely different, right? But it's if you just have, like Joel was saying, just, hey, I want to get to the magical $1 million, it means nothing.
Yep.
If you then have, hey, I want to get to $1 million, because if I get to $1 million, I can work 4 days a week and I can do that 1 day a week, and I love contribution. Yeah. So you can then contribute that 1 day a week, maybe going and helping someone, right?
Yeah, man.
Or working in an old people's home for free.
Yep.
So now you get to buy back your time because of the income that Joel's helped you to create, let's say, from those investments. Yeah. Buys your time back.
Yeah, it's a transition in life for yourself. It's like you're not aiming to get to $1 million. You're aiming to get to a position where you can take that day to be able to do something that's meaningful for you, whether it's for the family or whether it's philanthropic or, you know, charitable work, travel, time back for yourself. So it's not about that figure. It's about what that figure can bring you and get you in life.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you can get there and still have, what do you call it, smashed avocado, yeah?
Yeah, you probably have smashed avo still. Yeah, a bit of toast as well.
Yeah. That was a big thing there for a little while.
Yeah, it was a big thing
Was
for
it
a while.
Tim Gurner mentioned it, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember who mentioned that, but a few people have mentioned the old smashed avo. So you can definitely still do it.
Good meal. Hey guys, again, thanks for joining in here. If you do have any questions you want to fire away at Joel, where can everyone reach you anyway if they wanted to?
Yeah, so jump onto Harple Financial Group, on Facebook, LinkedIn as well. So you can book pre-discoveries on my website as well.
What do you mean by pre-discovery?
So pre-discovery, we generally have a hookup on Zoom or on the phone, just 15 minutes, just to pre-chat about what they're after and what they're aiming to achieve, and if we can add value and they'll be valuable to us to work with.
Yep.
We do a pre-discovery before we do a full discovery, where we really break down and analyse their full situation. So a lot of the times we may not get to a full discovery because that person or that client might be better suited to see someone else.
Yep.
Which is not a bad thing. It's just a different mix of
that's good
professions.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
it's a good way to do it. Mate, we're gonna finish this off in a minute, right? One more question I got to ask you though. One word question. One word answer you're allowed to give.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So, if there's one word, so you're leaving the earth tomorrow, right? You have one word to describe the legacy that you left behind you. What is it?
Meaningful.
Okay. We had lots of different ones here, don't we? We had friend last week. That was right, wasn't it, Enzo? Meaningful. What do you mean by that?
I'll let it expand.
Now you can expand.
Yeah, so meaningful by leaving something that's meaningful on this earth that you've done and influenced and meant something to someone or something or people or group of people. You've been meaningful in their life, and it's a memory in that way. So, your funeral, you wake, you're looking in and you see a bunch of people there, and that person has meant something to those people. Because many people can go through life and it can be you have a bad relationship or a toxic relationship, or you're creating wealth for the sake of creating wealth, and haven't created a lot of meaningful relationships, and the funeral can be pretty empty. It's it's not a really fulfilling way of living life. So
it sounds like you've thought about that before.
Yeah, I've thought about it. How do I want to be? How do I want to be remembered? And what legacy do I want to leave on an imprint on people? Meaningful is definitely something that I feel is something that means something to me in life. I want to have a meaningful contribution in this world, business, family, personal, and mean something. Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah,
that's one of the favourite questions I get to ask people, right? Because I don't think most people ever think about it for starters. So it puts them on the spot, and it's surprising what they actually say.
Yeah, good.
So that's fantastic. Mate, it's been great to have you on.
When I get you on my podcast, I'll throw a few curveballs at you too.
Done, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Great.
Guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget, if you want to reach out, if you're looking for a great financial planner, make sure you jump on the website at Harple Financial Group and you do a pre-discovery.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, jump on, put an inquiry in, and we do a pre-discovery. Happy to have a chat about your situation, see whether it be a good fit, and everything we do is all based on value. It's got to be valuable to you guys and valuable to us to be able to work with you and create value in your life. So any clients we engage in, it's always engaged around the basis of what they value, because if you're engaging around that, then you're probably going to hit the mark with what's important to them.
Yeah. Are you on any other socials yourself? Instagram? People can follow you on?
Yeah, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm on. I don't think Harple Financial Group is, but I think you might have tagged me as well on Instagram today. Seach J. Don't quiz me. Yeah, I'm not huge over socials, but I do put a bit of stuff on there. So yeah.
Awesome, guys. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed this. Rewatch it if you have any questions, if you've learned some things. We'd always love to hear your feedback. Again, make sure you check Joel out. Amazing young guy doing amazing things, and by the sounds of it, mate, you've got a massive future ahead, building business and changing lives.
Thanks for having us, man, and appreciate everyone joining us today. And jump on to Marty's Facebook page and all his socials as well in the Loan Room. They're great. I refer to these guys all the time. They're terrific at what they do. So. Been great being here, and thanks for tuning in, crew. Feel free to reach out when you need us.
Done. Thanks, guys.
Love it. See you all.